Is going to kick off. They've injured during the week, but will kick off. Starting backfield will be Dave Olszakowski at quarterback, 5'10", 170, a senior. John Mendola at fullback, 6'1", 205, a senior. And Matt Walsh, 5'10", 175, the junior. The slot back will be Scott Dunsmuir at 6'3", 180, a senior. And those are the starting backfield people. It's split into Pete Patera, 5'9", 170, a senior, alternating with Art Searfoss, 6'3", 180, a senior. And Chris McCarthy's the tight end. Millionaires are set to kick off, and for our stations, we'll pick up that other break coming up at halftime. And we're all set to begin the football game. Here's Gary Chrisman.
And Call pits it away. Searfoss will take it at the 11-yard line. He'll take it to the 15, to the 20, right up the middle of the 25, and leans out to the 27. Williamsport sets up defensively. Right there as the Crusaders come out 1st and 10. Their backfield again will come out with Dave Olszakowski. He played against Williamsport a year ago and played very, very well.
Millionaire defense up front. Brace Harvey, Phoenix, Fischel, Wyke, and Boyles. Walker, Dietrich. They'll have Keith Baker, Corey Jett, Tim Fosnot, and Mark Nye.
The backs again will be John Mendola, 6'1", 205, a senior, and a tailback will be Matt Walsh, 5'10", 175-pound junior, rushed for over 1,000 yards a year ago. They come out of the eye the first time out. They pitch left to Walsh. To the 25, gang tackle and stripped, and may have lost a yard. To the 26, John Boyles, the right end, came over to knock him down. And Boyles gets better week in and week out. Not real big, 5'9", 160, but he's had a great year already.
He has, and he really pursued nicely. One of the things that defensive ends have to do is contain, keep the play inside so that the other people can help up. That time he didn't need any help.
They're going to call it a 2-yard loss, 2nd down and 12. Dunsmuir will come to the slot to the right-hand side. And wide right will be Pete Patera. 2 wide outs right of the eye. They roll to that side. Throwing out here to the flat. The ball is overthrown. They try to get it to Pete Patera, the split end. On that down and out. Covering is Corey Jett. It brings up 3rd down and 12 already.
Patera was open on the quick out over there, but they just didn't get the ball to him nicely. Did not throw it properly to him, so that's a pattern they may come back with later in the game.
Matt Walsh rushed for better than 900 yards as a freshman, over 1,000 a year ago, and is only a junior. 1 year ago, 7-0 ball game. A little controversial play came up in that game. A fumble picked up, run back by Greg Walker, but that was called back. And the Millionaires just could not get it going against this team. Split backs on 3rd and 12. Here's that counter give. Goes nowhere and stacked up. Line of scrimmage. The tackle is going to be John Mendola, carried, and Wyke, Fischel, and Phoenix stop him up on that counter give across the middle, and no play there. And it's going to be 4th and 14. And they'll punt it back to the Williamsport Millionaires, and Greg Walker will drop back deep.
So the Millionaires come out and do a super job on defense. Has been their trademark throughout the year. They have been very, very stingy. Just Cumberland Valley's been able to score.
And Scott Dunsmuir will drop back at about the 10-yard line. A little bit of a rush. He'll boot it away. It's at high, end over end, taken at the 46-yard line. Coming to the left is Walker. He'll cut back at midfield and get down to the 49-yard line. The Crusaders gang tackle him right down there. So Williamsport, good field position on this near hash mark. Will set up 1st down and 10 for the Cherry and White.
And an excellent field position is just what Tim Montgomery wants, to get Alan Eck and crew on the field to get things started. They have been very fortunate being able to score early in football games. We do have a Crusader down on the far side.
Cherry and White will come out with a regular starting lineup. Person will be the tight end. He is number 89, 6'2", 190 pounds. The split end will be Scott Harmon, who leads in receptions with 4, had 2 acrobatic catches. Look at
Junior O'Donnell, one of their starting linebackers, was injured on that punt coverage. He goes off to the sideline. I'm sure we'll see him later.
On 1st down, Millionaires, the football at the 48-yard line. Harmon goes wide to the right side, split backs. Here's Eck. The give, Navarro, big hole across the middle of the 45 and down to the 43-yard line. A gain of nearly 7 or 8. And Carl Yastrzemski, I love that name, 5'10", 180. He played against the Cherry and White a year ago. And he comes over to make the tackle. He will line up from that right tackle spot for the Coughlin Crusaders.
Tom Navarro going into this game has carried 17 times for 169 yards, averaging 9.9 a carry.
On 2nd down, they'll call it 2nd down and 5. Split backs again. Harmon goes wide to the far side. Alan Eck, the quarterback, completed 53% of his passes. He'll go to Navarro again. He cuts to the left side, cuts across the 40, and it's going to be 3rd down and short. 3rd down, maybe 2. John Mendola, the inside linebacker, comes over along with Doug Pape to make the stop. So here come the Millionaires on 3rd down and 1. They'll come in with 2 tight ends. Victor Brace Harvey will line up to the right side. Joe Person to the left. They'll come out with a wing left, split backs again. 3rd and 1. Here's Walker. First down and more. He'll get it out to the 35-yard line for the Williamsport Millionaires. And Greg Walker this year has rushed the ball 34 times, 251 yards, a 7.41 average. And his longest run, a 50-yard touchdown run. He scored 5 times in the year. With an extra point, has 31 points in the season. And he's taken a lot of pressure off Gary Brown. They talk about Brown and Walker, two of the great backs in the state of Pennsylvania in the same backfield this year. On 1st and 10, Millionaires moving into Crusader territory at the 35-yard line. Alanek, the long count, pitches right. Here's Navarro cutting to the outside. Tom will turn the corner, get across to the 35, and lean to the 32-yard line. He's knocked it out of bounds. Pete Patera got a hold of him right there, but not before a pretty good run. Navarro has that great speed to the outside, and he has great balance for a little guy, and he showed you that 1 week ago. That's one reason that Tom Navarro coming in here is averaging 9.9 every time he touches the football, and here comes Gary Brown.
For Greg Walker, who limps off the field. So Walker comes off, and Brown will come in to take Walker's place, and trainer Wynn Cutts is going to look at Greg Walker now.
Greg may have twisted something. He'll come up to the near sideline. We'll get a report on that in a few minutes. 2nd down and 7. Navarro and Brown are the backs. Alanek rolling left, looking to throw, dumps it out. Person the catch. He'll take it. He fumbled the football, got back on it at the 20-yard line. So Joe picked up a couple of more yards after he fumbled the ball. Picked up maybe 2 or 3 more after the completion and fumbled it. Got back in his fumble down to the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 Millionaires. Person's 4th catch of the year.
And Tim Montgomery, despite who's in there, is just going with his standard kind of offense. He's running Navarro, running Walker now. Brown in the game. We'll be anxious to see his first carry, but they're running a standard type offense. Has been good to him.
Person, the tight end right, wing right with Dietrich, and wide to the left side is going to be Scott Harmon. Now Alanek would shift the backs of the backfield, looking over who he has back there and where they're positioned. Here's the wide pitch to Brown. He gets to the outside, tries to cut to the 20, trying to turn the corner at the 15-yard line and driven out of bounds at near the 14. John Mendola got him, but not before a good run by Gary Brown.
And he gets right back up and springs back to the huddle. You can tell he's ready to play football.
No doubt about it. 14-yard line for Gary Brown. 6-yard game, 2nd down and 4. So Gary Brown, who comes into the ball game with 470 yards, 9.6 average, 10 touchdowns of the year. And all kind of people all over the country are looking at Gary Brown at 5'11", 187 pounds. On 2nd down and 4, here's Eck. Quick give across the middle. Navarro will dive to about the 11-yard line. So Tom Navarro's been a workhorse early in the ball game. The tackle by Art Steerfoss, who plays free safety for the Crusaders.
And Tom Navarro has already carried the ball 4 times in this football game. He's getting good yardage.
And as some coaches have told us, Tom Navarro would start on many of the teams in the Eastern Conference in their backfield. But when you have Brown and Walker, that makes it tough. But Navarro getting his first start as a varsity player tonight. He's only a junior. On 3rd and 1, Alanek busted play. He's going to be trapped, and it's going to turn into a 4th and long situation. Eck at one point looked like he was going to throw that little look-in pass. Somebody missed an assignment. Carl Yastrzemski was in the backfield because Allen could, before he could even move on it, and holds him down for a loss. So 4th down and 5 instead of a 3rd and 1 play.
And the Millionaires will call a timeout and talk it over. The Canes came out and played defense especially well in the early part of the game, got the offense rolling, and even though they had some bad breaks, some questionable calls against them, able to come back and still win that ball game. And of course they'll be number 1, and looks like they could very well be number 1 going into the bowl picture this year.
They have a pretty easy sled of games coming up after that. Florida State probably the toughest team they'll play the remainder of the year. On 4th and 5, Millionaires will go for it. Here's Alanek. He'll fake, look to throw, has a man open the end zone, overshot Dietrich. He pulled it down to the play action right, trying to get Dietrich, who lined up as the wing back to the right side, had him open but overshot him in the end zone. Now the Cherry and White will now rely on defense. Crusaders will take up 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
And that's been the story of so many of these ball games between these two teams. The Millionaires be able to move the ball till they get down close and unable to punch it in. One reason they might not have gone for the field goal in that particular situation, Nate Culp was injured all week.
So Alanek, who threw for 4, could not get his 5th touchdown pass that time. On 1st down, Olszewski gives it away to Matt Walsh, and he is labeled, got across the 15 to the 17-yard line, but ran right into Victor Brace Harvey. And Victor has been one of the great pluses for the Cherry and White team at end all year. He's been the leading tackler, 6'2", 180, and a guy that Pete White will have back in basketball again this season.
I'll tell you, I'm sure Victor's caught the eye of some college scouts, though, playing that defensive end position, because he plays it extremely physically, and he really stays home and stays on his assignment.
Mandola, along with Matt Walsh, are the backs. On second down at about 8. Olszewski again to Walsh. Finds a hole. 20, 25, 30. Breaks a tackle. He may go to the 40, the 50. Nobody will catch him. He's going to be at the 30, 25, 20. And Matt Walsh will run it for a touchdown. Matt Walsh breaks it open, and the Cherry and White are scored on for the first time early in a ball game. They trail this year 6-0 Coughlin on a Matt Walsh run, and he does it. He breaks out of there for some, 83 yards.
83-yard run. They go 2 plays, and that's a biggie for the Crusaders because here they held the Millionaires, and now they get on the board, and now we're going to see just what the Millionaires are made of.
That is why Matt Walsh has been a great back. 5'9", 175-pound junior. Hurt the Cherry and White a year ago, and Matt Walsh puts Williamsport behind for the first time early in a game all season. On the conversion, Carl Yastrzemski. On a hold by Olszewski. The snap is back. The kick is up. And the kick is no good. Wide to the left. Well, there's a timeout. 5:15 remaining in the first quarter. And it's Coughlin, 6. Williamsport, nothing. We'll be back. And the Coughlin Crusaders lead 6-0. The Cherry and White defense stunned. And ironically, Gary Brown and Greg Walker, who normally play in the secondary, that speedy secondary, were not playing. Greg Walker twisted perhaps an ankle. Brown, of course, not playing defense because of the injury of a week ago. And they did not have the speed to catch up with Walsh, who blew by everybody. The kickoff is coming back to the Millionaires. The borrow, the 15 to the 20 to the 25. He's hit and knocked down to the 30-yard line. And the Williamsport Millionaires will set up first down and 10 there. They trail early, 6-0. They have not trailed in a ball game all year.
So here come the Cherry and White trying to see exactly what they can put together as far as an offense here. They moved the ball quite well after getting great field position, but stalled on downs deep inside a busted play. Really messed up the drive for them.
Only the second touchdown against Williamsport all season. On 1st and 10, Corey Jett comes wide to the near side, split backs. Here's a wide pitch to Brown. Cutting to the outside, tries to turn the corner, tries to spin and gang tackle, maybe a 2-yard gain, but Coughlin played it very, very well. The tackle by Dave Slavish along with Carl Yastrzemski, and they moved very well laterally to that outside to the left, and Brown could hardly turn the corner, may have gotten to the call it a 2-yard gain.
That's really the secret of the defense that Coughlin plays, is they keep the play in front of most of their defensive people. They don't let you turn the corners on them.
They'll call it now a 3-yard gain to the 34-yard line, 2nd down and 7. Wide left is Jett again. Eck rolls back, looks to throw, across the middle, dumps it in a crowd. The ball's up for grabs and nearly intercepted. Number 31, Scott Dunsper, on the reflection, trying to grab it at the 50-yard line. They try to go to Corey Jett, but he had 3 Crusaders draped all over him at midfield.
Allen was in a position where he really didn't have anybody open. He was just trying to thread the needle that time to get it in there. And the Millionaires now face the 3rd down and long.
So 3rd down and 7. They trail 6-0 in the ball game, and another 3rd down play. Earlier on, they had gambled on a 4th down, throwing to the end zone, had a man open that missed the touchdown pass from 15 yards out. 3rd down and 7. Here's Eck rolling left. Here's the quick draw give to Brown. He will be stopped after a 2-yard gain. That'll be it. So the Cherry and White will punt it away. Yastrzemski and Pape stayed home, and they made the tackle. They were not fooled one bit.
And Yastrzemski's played quite a ball game early. The first 2 series have been on many, many tackles from his defensive tackle position. He's only 5'10", 180, playing in that line, but he's got tremendous quickness.
Greg Walker is having his ankle taped down here. He may have just twisted that. Hopefully no kind of a serious injury, and the way he walked off, we still might be able to see him again. So Culp will kick it back for the 20-yard line. The punt. Coughlin, a little bit of a rush. He kicks it low, end over end. The ball will bounce back to the Cherry and White defense. It'll be down to the 41-yard line. The Crusaders have excellent field position, and they lead 6-0.
The injury to Greg Walker hurt there because Greg was going to be the punter tonight in this ball game for the Millionaires, but with him down, Nate Culp had to come out and punt it. Of course, he's been hurt during the week, so the Millionaire kicking game is suffering. We saw him in practice here. They were trying everybody and his uncle trying to get somebody who could kick the ball.
They tried everybody. They had Joe Person, the tight end, kicking off the other day. And Greg Walker is still on the sideline. Gary Brown comes in defensively. He's wearing that knee brace in the left knee. On 1st down, Olszewski rolling left, looking to throw. Dumps the ball off, goes to Walsh. He'll catch it out of the backfield and gain a couple of yards out to the 42-yard line. Chris Dietrich, the right side cornerback and one of the leading tacklers in the team, will come up and make the play. Dietrich has been awful tough against that rush or that little screen pass, the little dump-off pass all year long. Dietrich has intercepted 2 passes. and has been one of the leading tacklers on the team. Here they go. Chuck Doyle will go to the wing left. Wide to the right side. This time will be Art Searfoss. On 2nd down and 8. Here's Walsh to the left side. Tries to turn the corner. Can't go anywhere. Got to the 43-yard line. It'll be 3rd and long. And Dietrich again comes over to make the play. So good defensive play for the Cherry and White. They've had only one breakdown tonight. That was an 83-yard run by Matt Walsh.
And they're also getting good pursuit from their linebackers who've been outstanding all year long. Tim Fosnot at 5'10", 185, a junior, and senior Mark Nye at 6'0", 190. They really patrol that secondary line behind the line of scrimmage very well.
So Patera comes back in the ballgame. He goes wide to the right-hand side. On 3rd down and 7, Olszewski back to pass. Looking to throw, dumps it out. The ball is caught, and he is labeled. Great hit by Mark Nye. At the 45-yard line, dumped it out to Walsh out of the backfield. And Nye at about a 5'11", 190 pounds, comes over to make an excellent stop.
He does. Only a 3-yard gain out of that. The Coughlin Crusaders will have to punt. The Millionaires need a good run back to get some good field position here.
So 4th down and 5, the Millionaires will put Keith Baker back in place of Greg Walker to return this. Walker twisted an ankle a moment ago. A little bit of a rush. Good punt. Baker driving him back to the 21, dropped the ball, picked it up on the bounce, and he loses a few yards back to the 18-yard line. And the Crusaders fielded it well, so all of a sudden field position has been the story here, and George Wolf comes over to make the tackle. So the Cherry and White and Allen Eck will come back. They trail in the game 6-0 with 1:14 remaining in Fez Bowl 86 in the first quarter.
So the Millionaires now deep in their own territory. Have to get something going. They had a good drive off the gun, then they did not make it. They were held on downs, and now late in the quarter they've got to try to put something together to get it back even anyway.
Navarro and Brown are the backs again. Brown the left halfback, Navarro on the right side. Wide to the left side is Scott Harmon. On 1st down, here's a quick give. Brown trying to get running room, and he goes to the line of scrimmage and goes nowhere. May have gotten a yard to the 20. It's been tough going for Brown. John Mendola, the inside linebacker, will stand him up. Yeah, there's no question that you talk a lot about the blocking schemes and the type of lineup you run up against defensively, and Coughlin has given the Williamsport Millionaires defensive fits.
Well, they usually have good size. They're a little bit smaller this year than past years, but they have tremendous quickness, and they really know how to play their positions, and they use their hands very well.
On 2nd and 8 at the 20-yard line. Here's the wide pitch to Brown. Cutting to the outside, tries to turn the corner. He's at the 30. Stutter steps in. He'll spin down to about the 30, 31-yard line. He may have it up for the 1st down, and John Mendola comes over to make the play.
Gary had a hard time planting his foot that time. I think not because of the brace as much as because of the moisture on the field from the rains the last couple of days. As he got close to trying to make that corner and cut it back up where he probably would have gotten the 1st down, his foot started to slide from out from under him, and he had to come in and just go down with it.
And you wonder just how much that brace will affect the knee and the running of Gary Brown in this ball game tonight. Well, that's it. Williamsport has been shut out of the first quarter of this ball game tonight. That's been a rarity this year. With a timeout after 1, 3rd and 1 for the Millionaires. The football just shy of the 30 of the 29-yard line. In their own territory, Allen Eck barking signals out over Buckner. He'll give it away to Brown. He'll spin across the 30 and lean to about the 31-yard line. He should have it up for the 1st down, but they did not give him a whole bunch more than that. Dave Slavish, the left end, at 5'11", 195 pounds, comes over to make the tackle. Victor Brace Harvey comes out of the ball game. They have the double tight end situation. And Scott Harmon at split end comes back into the game.
I'll tell you, he didn't make it by a whole lot. He made it clearly because of the way the ball was lined up with the yard stripe going there. But Millionaires have got to start jumping off that line of scrimmage a little bit better.
Millionaires on 1st and 10, the football at the 30-yard line. Brown to borrow the backs. Here's Allen Eck giving to Brown. 2nd man through, finds a hole. He'll go to the 35-yard line and out to the 37. Found a little bit of room. Pete Patera comes over to make the play.
If Patera had not grabbed a lot of arm and jersey that time, Gary just might have gotten away with him. Gary started to go into his spin move to try to get away. Patera held on for dear life long enough for people to come in there.
Jeff White coming into the ball game offensively. Rich Phoenix comes out of the game on that offensive line. So Harmon comes wide to the near side. They're at hash mark right, moving from left to right. On 2nd down and 2 after an 8-yard game. Here's Allen Eck. Quick give. Navarro in a crowd. He'll go out to about the 40-yard line, and he'll be maybe a yard shy of the 1st down. He's out to about the 40. We'll have to wait and see if they measure it or not. It looks from here that he may be a little bit shy, but no. They say he has it. Looked like he might be a little bit shy, but they spotted the football and said, yes, he had it up. So a 2-yard gain for Tom Navarro.
Greg Walker's doing a little running on the sideline. I have a feeling we'll see him again in just a little while. But right now, the Millionaires are starting to put together a drive. And one of the things Coughlin does is crash down your offensive line, try to push everybody to center.
Allen Eck on first down. Here's Eck, second man through. That's Brown. He'll break a tackle. He's at the 50, the 45, a foot race to the 40 and out of bounds to the 37-yard line. Pulled down by Searfoss, who saved a tackle.
There's a flag on the play, though. It's back in the line of scrimmage, so let's wait and see what they've got here. Right back.
A great run that time, breaking tackles by Gary Brown.
Against the Millionaires.
Now the Cherry and White will walk back down the other way. That's a tough play. When you start to get the momentum going, they're starting to make the mistakes.
Right in a holding zone, or perhaps an illegal blocking zone, but they are talking, and the flag thrown just at the line of scrimmage. So Gary Brown got a good run going there, but that'll all be called back, and they'll penalize the Millionaires 10 yards for an illegal hold.
So Phoenix comes back into the ball game, and now Jeff White comes out on offense, on that offensive line. And now you come back right where you started from, and that is a major penalty against the Cherry and White, where they would have been. Well, that's a big penalty. They would have been all the way down here to the 37-yard line with a 1st and 10, but now they're back to their own 31. On 1st and 20 at the 31-yard line. Here's Allen Eck to Brown again. He'll break a tackle, spin, and just got across the 35 to about the 37-yard line. So second down and long, and Doug Pape comes over to knock him down for that right end spot.
He got just enough of Gary's leg to knock him off balance, and Patera and company came over to cover up. Gary's very close to breaking one. He's really getting close to breaking one if he can just get by those linebackers. They only have 2 people in a down position, and they try to crunch your lineup so you have a hard time getting through it. Let's watch and see if they don't try to bounce outside.
On second down and 13, Harmon is wide left. Here's Allen Eck, back to pass, looks for his tight end, dumps it out of the backfield. He'll cut out to Navarro to the 40. He tries to cut back, and he stumbles and falls in the wet turf at the 42-yard line, or Navarro is on his way.
Unbelievable. He was really trying to make the move. Tom's played a good football game thus far tonight. He's had to fill in first for Brown, now for Walker, but the Millionaires will be faced with a 3rd and virtually 10.
And Tom Navarro would have made that a close shot at a first down that time, but could try to cut back in and fell down. So a little bit slick because of the rain that we've had. On 3rd down and 10, Millionaires with a football. The penalty really hurts. It'll be Person inside right. Wide right is Harmon. Brown and Navarro the backs. Here's Allen Eck. Rolling left. Looking to throw. Dumps it. Tries to put it up in the air. The ball is nearly intercepted, and that was a dangerous pass to throw. Tom O'Donnell, Junior O'Donnell, the inside linebacker, was coming up strong and nearly picked it off. And remember, he made that mistake against Dunmore a year ago in the Eastern Conference semifinals.
And Junior and Carl Yastrzemski, who has been a name we've called quite a bit in this football game, is a man that put the pressure on Allen Eck. They had good rush on him, but Yastrzemski was right there, had a hold of Allen. If they'd have been in the NFL, they might have caught him in the grasp.
They're forcing Allen Eck to go to his alternate receiver. At that time, he just couldn't find anybody and tried to dump it away. The ball was nearly intercepted. Here's Nakoff punting it away. In a pretty good one, driving the man back. And Pete Patera calls a fair catch of the 25-yard line. So the Crusaders, with 8:40 remaining in this first half, still leading the game 6-0, and they play very well.
They play well. They're defensing it very nicely, as they always do against the Millionaires. And if you watch the line play up front, you see the 2 down linemen and the 2 defensive end really crash in. They're trying to push the 5 basic offensive linemen in and to create a major logjam. And then the other 9 guys who are standing up just sort of force and watch the flow of the play.
Dave Olszewski will come out with split backs in a wing right. Wide left Patera. Straight back to pass. Setting to throw. Across the middle. The ball is caught. And the ball pops up. Could be in. Fumble. Millionaires get it back. Cherry and White get it back. They threw to the tight end McCarthy. He was popped, and the fumble recovered by Tim Fosnot.
So Fosnot doing a great job of getting on that ball. Boyles and Nye and all those guys were around in that middle area, and they really smacked it. Now the Millionaires have another chance to get in good field position at the 30-yard line.
Tim Fosnot is 5'10", 185. A great crack by the linebackers, and Fosnot jumps in the bubble after the completion to Chris McCarthy, the tight end. So now the Millionaires get it back where they had it the last time, almost. On 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line in Crusader territory. Here's Allen Eck looking to throw. A little down and out. The ball is up and caught by Jett. He'll turn, and he'll fall down at about the 25-yard line. That is slick on the outside part of the field, and Corey turned upfield and fell down.
But I think the Millionaires will be happy. That's a 6-yard gain. That's a good first down gain. That gives them a chance to go back to some of their ground game. Greg Walker coming back in now. They've got basically the original lineup in the ball game.
Greg Walker and Brown, and here they go again. So Person is inside left. Wide to the left side is Corey Jett, Brown, and Walker the backs. On second down and 4 after a 6-yard completion by Allen Eck. Here's Eck. Give Brown a little bit of a hole. He'll dive to the 21-yard line. He's going to be awfully close to a first down right there with 7:30 to play. Junior O'Donnell, the inside linebacker, comes over to make the play.
Junior O'Donnell's a young man who played a major part last year's game. He's a little bit shaken up from earlier when he was hurt on a punt coverage, but he's going down. That time they dropped into a 5-man line. So Coughlin is doing some situation substituting and situation defense in there to try to anticipate what the Millionaires are going to do.
On 3rd and 1, Chariot White at the 21-yard line. A wing left. Brown and Walker the backs. Here's the give. Walker, it's going to be awful close. He'll lean to the 20-yard line. We'll have to see where they spot the football this time.
I think he's going to end up getting it because of forward progress. They went to a goal line type defense that time. They brought 6 guys up. They knew it was 3rd down and short yardage. They figured the Millionaires would strictly go together.
Just barely got the first down, and the Chariot White have it 1st and 10 at about the 20-yard line. Corey Jett comes in with a play. Jett is only a junior. 6'1", about 185 pounds. And he's the backup quarterback who probably will be the heir apparent to Allen Eck next year. On 1st down and 10. Allen Eck at the 20-yard line. Out over Buchner. Stumbling in the backfield is Brown. He slipped. He got to the 21-yard line, but slipped down before the handoff and was only able to get to the 21-yard line. That'll be about it.
Yeah, that's tough because the Millionaires had no opening. Allen Eck had to wait for the handoff if he was set to go off and deal it inside there. So the Millionaires now using the tackles, White and Fischel, to bring the plays in from the near sideline, and they've got 2nd down and 9 here.
So Corey Jett goes wide to the far side of the field. 2nd down and 9 at the football, the 21-yard line. Here's Eck. Crowd starting to get into it. Eck bootlegs, looks to throw. The play action into the end zone. Coming back to Boston. It is almost intercepted. It will be no good. Dropped in the end zone. And it will be dropped down there by the Coughlin Crusaders.
Matt Walsh was the man who was down there playing. And I'll tell you, it was very, very close whether Matt Walsh had it or not. Because the Millionaires, the ball was underthrown, turning around. He's got good hands, and he thought he had it. The official said, no, you didn't.
Matt Walsh looked like, from here, the referee said he trapped it. Walsh thought he had it all the way, but the ball was simply underthrown. Good coverage by Matt Walsh, who is the difference in the ball game. An 83-yard touchdown run earlier in the game, and that has been the difference. 6-0. Coughlin missed on the extra point conversion.
Greg Walker's back on the sideline. He's out looking at the trainer club again. He's still having problems.
So 3rd down and 9, and the Chariot White have had a lot of 3rd down situations, and here they go again. On 3rd down, Allen Eck rolling left, looking to throw, dumps it across the middle. The ball for Person. He dives at it. A bump, no whistle, no flag. Some fans may have wanted that, but Zierfoss was right in the neighborhood of the football.
Yeah, I thought maybe they might get Art Zierfoss for pushing Joe Person right before the ball got there, but they just say no, it's an incomplete, and the Millionaires will have to go for it on 4th down and 9 at the Coughlin 19.
4th down and 9, and it's an interesting situation here because in the past, when you have a great runner like Brown, who's not nearly 100% tonight, it doesn't mean you will pass every time in this type of situation on a normal passing down. So let's see what they do as they put Jett wide to the left side. Bosnot is the wingback right. Looking to throw. Eck throws back to the tight end Person. He has it at the 20-yard line, stutters down and falls down to his knee to the 21. Person was hit by Tom O'Donnell, or he may have had some running room. He curled back. He lined up on the left side as the tight end. He curled back a bit. He was hit and then slipped down a bit. The knee touched the grass, or he may have had plenty for the first down and more down to the right side. So it was that little roll left and throw back right to the tight end. Person was wide open, but could not keep his footing. So Coughlin will take over again, and they have done a tremendous job defensively against the Millionaires. Here come the Crusaders on 1st down and 10. Olszewski giving to Walsh. Across the middle, he'll dive for about 3 or 4 yards down to the 24-yard line.
Well, it's tough for the Millionaires in there to work as hard as they work to get those turnovers and see if indeed they are able to not take advantage of it. They've had several golden opportunities, but nothing on the scoreboard.
Big Bubba Fischel, John Boyles helping out of the stop, and some teams just match very well against you. But they match up well, and Crusaders have certainly matched up very well against this Williamsport Millionaire team over the last couple of years. Zierfoss comes wide to the near side, a wing right on 2nd and 6. Here's Walsh to the right side again. Tries to break a tackle and to get hardly anything. So the 25, maybe 26. And Dwayne Fischel again, along with Rich Phoenix, come over from that left side to make the stop for the Chariot White. So third down again, this time for Coughlin.
Well, we saw last year such a battle. The field very wet. That's definitely hurting the Millionaires' style of play because they're used to cutting, and the Millionaires are having a very difficult time cutting. And that is giving them a problem. You may have to see them go back to more power-type football.
So Scott Dunsmore is into the ball game at wingback on 3rd and 4. Wide to the near side, Patera. There's the give to Walsh. Stutter steps, falls, spins, first down, and more. He breaks a tackle. He may break it all the way. A jet saved a touchdown at the 45-yard line. Matt Walsh was hit 2, 3, or 4 times, came out of a pack and nearly carried it all the way for a touchdown, and Jet saved what might have been 6 more.
Indeed, no doubt about it. Corey saved it because Matt Walsh was on the races. Wow. It looked like he was going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage. He kept chugging, and that's one of the great secrets, of course, to keep those legs moving and make the people bring you down. And so now a big first down.
Let's get the update on Matt Walsh. He's had a heck of a night. He had 83 on 1 carry.
8 for 106.
First down and 10. Crusaders are on the move again, thanks to Walsh, who appeared to be stopped and then broke out of a pack. Going deep. Olszewski throwing across the middle. The ball is caught by Patera. Breaks out of a pack to the 45-yard line and down to the 43. First and 10, Crusaders. He was hit in a crowd, spun off, cut to the outside, and he nearly bounced out of there. Victor Brace Harvey comes out to make the tackle, but a great catch by Pete Patera.
Well, that was another indication of how the Millionaires are not having quite the success all of a sudden at tackling, because there's 2 plays in a row where they had some people stopped, but just not really get the arms enveloped around the person. They bounce off and get good yardage.
Searfoss comes wide to the left side. Wing right is Dunsmore. On first and 10. Rolling, bootlegging, keeping Olszewski to the 45-yard line and spins down. He's knocked down at the 41. He faked to Walsh, put it on his hip, rolled out. Tom Navarro comes over to make the tackle, and Gary Brown comes back into the ball game. Keith Baker will come out of the game. So one thing you lose in the secondary, you lose the speed of Brown and Walker, because Walker has been up and down because of the injury, and Brown has played sparingly defensively because of the injury from last week.
That time I couldn't count. Olszewski went down because he got all he could, or because the cutting hurt him. It looked to me like the cutting of the wet field hurt him that time.
Couple of wideouts on 2nd and 9. Olszewski fakes play action across the middle. The ball is caught. Patera spins away from a man. He's going to get out to the 20-yard line, inside the 15, and down to the 14. Patera stopped by Brown along with Tom Navarro, but the Crusaders are on the move again.
Olszewski putting together a nice pass play. Once again, the Millionaires are hitting people, but they're not tackling people in that secondary.
Good game plan again by this Coughlin team. They're breaking it up with a run and a pass, and Olszewski threading the needle again. Some good play action set it up, because you have to keep very honest because of Matt Walsh and his great running ability. On first and 10, the football is at the 14-yard line. Out of the eye, somebody moved. Looked like it might have been one of those quick, almost broken plays. I don't see a flag down.
No, they just didn't get together on the exchange at all. There were people getting started.
Might have picked up maybe a yard, probably back to the line of scrimmage, and that will be 2nd down and 10. Olszewski had a fall on it at the 14-yard line. Chuck Doyle comes into the ball game. Dunsmore will leave the game at slot back. 1:46 remaining. A 6-0 lead by Coughlin. The Millionaires are being shut out. Wide right is Searfoss. Olszewski pulls it down, bootlegs again, keeps himself. He's at the 10-yard line and dives down near the 7 or 8. The tackle by Tom Navarro. Olszewski is giving you some great problems right now.
They did a good job on blocking out on the end there for him to cut back inside. Olszewski did cut back in
to keep the drive alive, in a great game. He is better than 100 yards on the ground. And then a great pass to Patera, setting it up at 3rd and 4. Here's the quick give to Walsh. Spins, knocked down, lost. Back to the 10. Great defensive play. Dietrich hit him first. Victor Brace Harvey helping out of the stop. So that brings up 4th down and a key play right here.
And it is very key because the clock's still running. Coughlin will probably, I would think, take another time out here. They're talking it over. Do they want to kick something, or do they want to go in and try to get the touchdown? And surprised John Joseph hasn't stopped the clock as it runs to under a minute here to let him make his decision.
4th down.
He does.
4th and 5. Football at the 9.5. The football will be lined up at the 15-yard line. With 10 of the end zone, it'll be a 25-yard attempt. Snap is back. Kick is up by Yastrzemski. And the kick is good. A timeout with 51 seconds remaining. And Coughlin has shut out the highly regarded Millionaires 9-0 here in the first half. We'll be back right after this.
Renting to own is so easy at Curtis Mathis. The Curtis Mathis Home Entertainment Center lets you rent quality Curtis Mathis TVs and VCRs fast and easy. With no credit checks, no security deposits, and your first week's rental is just 99 cents. That's right, just 99 cents for your first week, plus free movie club membership with a VCR rental. Stop by Curtis Mathis on Lycoming Creek Road, across from Mr. Donut, or call 494-1515 for details.
So the Crusaders have done it on a 25-yard field goal by Yastrzemski, who gets ready to kick back to the Millionaires, and an 83-yard run by Matt Walsh. And Walsh has been the story of this game tonight. Yastrzemski hits a low liner. It bounces, taken by the Millionaires to the 20. 25, Baker has it at the 30. Bounces out of a pack and down to the 39. So the Chariot White will have 45 seconds to try to get 6 on the board before halftime. Brown comes back in the ball game. We mentioned that Greg Walker has been up and down in the first half of the game. He twisted an ankle early on, tried to come back, came back, got it wrapped up again, and he has not been back since. So here come the Millionaires with 34 on the clock ticking. They trail by 9. Harmon goes wide to the far side of the field from left to right. Alanek calling signals, gives it to Navarro, and Navarro gets maybe 2, and that'll be all. Now the Chariot White look like they're going to probably just run it all out. John Mendola comes over. You don't want to make any kind of a mistake here. And now a Coughlin Crusader is knocked down and hurt.
Play of the 6'4", 240 senior tackle. He goes off.
13 seconds remaining in the half. Alanek at the 42-yard line. We'll give it to Brown. Across the middle, spins 45 and down to the 49-yard line to midfield, and that'll be it. That'll end the first half of the game, but there is a flag down, so let's look and see what this call might be. There are 3 seconds remaining. So we might have time for one more play, and we'll find out what the penalty will be.
Be against the Millionaires, I believe, as they'll go talk to the Crusaders and see whether indeed they want to take it.
Chariot White penalty hurt them a little while ago. They got rolling. Brown had a great run. They were able to throw a little swing pass down here that got them down to the 37-yard line, and the cold brought them back. So they've been their own worst enemies in this ball game tonight, and another penalty against the Chariot White will bring them all the way back to the 32-yard line.
Motion penalty against the Millionaires, and they'll crank up the clock, and everybody should go in the locker room and let that be it.
So that'll be it. Williamsport Millionaire fans have had nothing at all to clap about, but the crowd is starting to give them a little cheer toward halftime to get it together at halftime. But Tim Montgomery will have a long halftime talk to his Millionaires, who trail 9-0 at the defense has been superb. And they have given the Williamsport Millionaires some real fits on first down. Williamsport on first down this year has done very, very well. They have not been forced into many third down situations, and we talk about third down and long. But the Chariot White have been, it seems, all night in third down situations. And some key slips here and there. The field is a little bit wet. They've got to put all that behind them. They trail by 9-0. They'll get the football early. And Yastrzemski will tee it up at the 40-yard line and kick it back to the Williamsport Millionaires for the second half of the game. So here it is, the final 24 minutes. And with the second half play-by-play, here's Ken Sawyer. Kenny?
Thank you, Gary. We've got Tom Navarro, Scott Harmon, and Todd Kelly back deep for the Millionaires as Yastrzemski does a little stretching to get set to go. Millionaires trailing 9-0 here on WWPA Williamsport. Next broadcast coming up on Friday night when the Millionaires are scheduled to play at Berwick. And we'll have that ball game coming up for you next week. And of course, if there's any change, or may not be, we'll let you know. Here comes Yastrzemski, boots it straight away off to the side. Matt Missigman will go over and watch it. Harmon picks it up right near the sideline and goes down with it at the 27-yard line. So the Millionaires take over 1st and 10 on their own 27. They'll bring out the starting lineup. Matt Neenan is going to be in there with Todd Letta. They'll also have some other folks up in front there. Todd Buchner, of course, is the center. Rich Phoenix is in there. Dwayne Fischel in that offensive line. Gary Brown goes in, and here comes Alanek as the quarterback.
Coughlin in the front four, Slavish at the one end, Pape the other. Yastrzemski, Krokos are the tackles, and they've been very strong tonight.
Millionaires showing a power I-type formation, almost more like a wishbone-type formation in that backfield. Now, Dietrich moves, but so does Fischel. Chris Dietrich was going to move in motion from right behind Alanek. He's got Walker and Brown behind him, and just as he started in motion, Dwayne Fischel came out of the starting blocks off his right tackle side, and that's
a little bit too anxious for the Chariot White, and that is not the start they wanted. They want to come out here. They're down by 9-0. Now a lot of pride is setting in, and we'll see what this Williamsport Millionaire team is really made of.
All right, here they come. Jet wide right. Dietrich right behind Allenek with Brown and Walker behind him. First down and 15 on their own 22. Dietrich goes in motion right side. Here comes Gary Brown. Walker tries to knock down Daly. He does. And Brown gets out to about the 28, 29, 30-yard line before John Mendola comes over to make the tackle along with Chucky Doyle. And they'll put him down at the 20-yard line. So it'll be the 30-yard line, I'm sorry. It'll be second down for the Millionaires at about 7.
Good pursuit against Brown again that time. Coughlin coming over. Keying on number 28. They've heard so much about. Ironically, Coughlin was a team that Brown was hurt against 1 year ago. Brown left the game, made his return in the Fez Bowl, and made the first time he touched the ball, went 60 yards against Berwick, and they won it 7-3 on that run.
Two tight ends have got Jory Jett wide to the left side. Second down and 7. Allenek back to pass. Streaking down the field is Jett and Person. They're there together. And then Corey Jett came over the football. Yes, he did. Corey Jett caught at the 48-yard line. Joe Person slow getting up. The two of them were together, and Corey Jett came up with it. First and 10, Millionaires.
That is a spectacular catch for Jett. Two receivers over there at the same time. And Person got the worst part of that because he had his bell rung a bit. But Jett makes a great grab, similar to the grab that Scott Harmon made a spectacular catch 1 week ago. So that's got to give some real confidence to the wide receivers in both Harmon and now Corey Jett coming up with a big catch.
At the Coughlin 48-yard line, first and 10 for the Cherry and White. Jett split wide to the left side. Allenek calling signals. Now Jett, now Dietrich goes in motion. Left, play goes right with Brown. Gets a good block from Walker. Up to the 40, to the 35-yard line. Goes back. He's trying to get back ground to ground, but he's going to be brought down. Nice tackle over there by Scott Dunsmuir, who comes up and makes the tackle, but another big run by Gary Brown to the 20, to the 35-yard line.
Gary Brown that time trying to cut back. I think he's slowed a bit, just a little bit because of the brace in the knee. But he still has that great flash, the great cutback ability. And that's the difference in the game, and that's one thing John Joseph said. This is a team, you try to play them one way, he'll cut back across the other end of the field, and there's nobody there. And that's the great ability of Gary Brown, but Dunsmuir saved what might have been 6.
Split end left is Corey Jett. Dietrich is in the back right behind Allenek. They send him in motion, but Gary Brown also goes in motion. That'll be flags all over. Gary just runs back toward the sideline as Mendola, not Mendola, but Patera traces him out of bounds. But two people going in motion. So the motion thing right now is causing more problems with the Millionaires than it is with Coughlin, and they've got to get that worked out because the one penalty they recovered from, now they'll have another one to recover from.
Yeah, that's been a real problem tonight. They had a key situation early in the ball game that cost them a hold, and we'll bring it back a little bit this time.
They may not take this because Gary went way out of bounds in the back, and that's right, they won't. He lost more yardage just by running toward the sideline than they would have with the penalty. So all of a sudden, they're back on their own 46-yard line.
Brown acted as if the play was going to stop, and he should have run it out. He almost, the way he was looking, it was almost like he was going to pull up and throw a halfback option pass, the way he was sort of ending the play, and they finally ran out of bounds, so they lose on the play, and that does not help his average. Second and 20.
At the 46-yard line now in Coughlin territory. Dietrich from wing right goes left. Allenek slight roll left. Looking down the sideline. He's going to throw it out there for Jett. He and Dunsmuir, it's incomplete. So Dunsmuir defending on Jett. The ball laid up there. They both went for it, and it goes down incomplete. It's going to be third down and 20.
Millionaires trying to throw deep. Let's see if they can try to come back underneath. Coughlin has guarded them very well. The last time Jett made a great grab, but in a crowd. The Cherry and White trying to get their passing game underway. Last week they were throwing to a number of different people. They threw to their wingback, both Bosnot and Dietrich on a couple of different occasions. On a third down and 20, what was a drive, but the penalty hurt and stopped all that momentum.
Dietrich left, Jett right on the splits. Tight end left is Person. Eck right straight back to pass. Getting excellent protection. Throws it for Corey Jett, and it's going to be incomplete as he went down the sideline with Pete Patera. The ball was 5 or 10 yards down past him.
I don't know. The crowd buzzing a little bit up here. Williamsport electing to go deep. Patera had Corey Jett stride for stride. He was overshot by Allenek, but the Millionaires, for some reason, think they can get Corey Jett one-on-one and beat his man. Scott Harmon has perhaps as much speed there.
I think what you saw,
they're not pecking away at it.
I think what you saw them do when they first came out, though, is what they've got to do. As I said toward the end of the first half, some power football, and they had the backs in there, and okay, let's student body right, student body left, and let's see what we can do. Now they're going to try to punt and put Coughlin back in deep territory. They've got George Wolf back there along with Patera. And there's Culp's kick. Patera's going to pick it up. Oh, he lets it bounce. It hits Chucky Doyle. The ball's loose. Scott Harmon's on it. Millionaires will have it at the 16-yard line.
That is a big break. Scott Harmon, the right place at the right time. And for Scott Harmon, another fumble recovery. Scott Harmon on the year has number 2 right there. That is as big as he's had all season.
9:51 to play in this third quarter, and the Millionaires with another golden opportunity. And I tell you, Gary, if they don't do something with this one, they're in trouble.
You're right. That's the best offensive play they've had all night right there. Scott Harmon recovers a fumble. And now here come the cherry and white.
They're at the 16-yard line of Coughlin territory. Ball bouncing around. They had trouble with it. Eck calling his signals against the 4-4. Brown trying to turn to corner right. He's at the 15-yard line. Tries to get away. Patera brings him down. He held on long enough. Doyle came to help out. He goes down to the 10-yard line. A 6-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 4.
Yeah, there's no question. Coughlin sure tacklers. They're staying right with him. And Gary Brown, who is awful strong, bench presses over 300 pounds, 5'11", 187 pounds. He would like to run right over you, but that time Patera slowed him enough to get help from the rest of the Coughlin team for holding to a 6-yard gain.
Phoenix led up Buchner, Neenan, and Fischel up front, the interior line. 2 tight ends this time. 2nd down and 4 at the 10-yard line. Heard around Gary Brown to the short side. Cuts it back inside, down to about the 7-yard line before he's knocked down. Pape was in there along with Junior O'Donnell to bring him down. Ball should be close to the first down yardage. They're going to stop the clock and bring the chains in to see for sure at the 7-yard line. So Gary Brown running to that right side. And we'll see what they show when the chains come in.
All of a sudden, Gary Brown, who is so used to not carrying all that many times, he'll get one big run, couple of big runs in the first couple of games this year. Had the great stats on not having to play a whole lot, but tonight more of a workhorse role for Gary Brown.
15 carries for 55 yards. They're about 6 inches short, so it's going to be 3rd down and 1 at the 7-yard line.
Give you some kind of an idea. Brown's most carries in a game this year is 19, and that came in the first game of the year against Pottsville.
And they use the chains to spot the ball at the hash mark. So a big 3rd down and 1, and the Millionaires need the call here. They need the flow up front.
Now they come in with the 2 tight ends again. Brace Harvey back into the ball game for his blocking, number 21, and Joe Person remains at tight end. So they're going to try to get almost a goal line situation right now as Coughlin will try to jam them up inside. We'll see what they do. Do they go right up the hook or try to pull it out and go wide?
Clock starts rolling again. We're in the third quarter. Coughlin leads 9-0. Millionaires with a 3rd and 1 on the Coughlin 7-yard line. Gary Brown, right side, cuts it back inside. He's hit by Searfoss, but gets the first down at the 3-yard line. Searfoss was up high. Pape and Patera all in there to make the stop. But the Millionaires will be 1st and goal inside the 5.
Jack Baranski helping out, too. He tried to pull the football out of there after Brown was down, say, hey, Willock, I have it. But for the junior at 5'11", 230, it was no good. And, of course, the whistle was blown on Gary Brown. So Brown earning his yardage tonight against a tough, stingy Coughlin defense. And here go the Millionaires with a 1st and goal, the football at the 3-yard line.
Dietrich is the wing left. Eck calling his signals. Gives it to Greg Walker going left side. He's going to be down at the 3-yard line. No gain. Searfoss came up, one of the first people to hit him on that side, along with Dunsmuir. And it'll be 2nd down and goal at the 3-yard line.
Yeah, Coughlin defends very, very well. They get to the outside in a hurry. Good quickness. Dunsmuir is 6'3", 180 pounds. Plays both offense and defense. And he's had some key defensive tackles in this ball game tonight.
Well, the Millionaires have been running the play. They've been running almost all right-hand side. That time they went left. Now they've got a lot of room to the right-hand side. Let's see if they're going to come back this way. They've also got Fosnot as the wing back, right behind Person on the tight end right side. They go more inside. Nothing there at all. Right at the middle. Mike Seraphin in the ball game, helped making a tackle up the middle there. And they will push that right back to about the 7 or 8 yard line. Now, they'll mark the line of scrimmage up closer. They'll mark the forward progress at about the 4 yard line. So they lose a yard. It's 3rd and goal to 4.
Boy, when the going gets tough, Coughlin showing you that great defense. They don't score normally a whole lot of points, but they don't give up very many. You can see why right there. Wilkes-Barre Coughlin.
At the 4 yard line. Here's Harmon going wide left. He'll be the flanker left, brought the play in. Fosnot the tight end right, Person the tight end left. Heck turns around looking for Gary Brown, trying to head to the corner, gets away from one. Junior O'Donnell tries to stop him. They will bring him down at about the 1 or 2 yard line as Gary slid off Junior O'Donnell, but O'Donnell slowed him down just enough that Gary could not get his balance back, and Gary getting up very slowly down there again.
And he rolled to the outside that time as if he was going to try to throw the football, too. Remember, again, if they should score and get the extra point.
Millionaires have had the ball the entire second half because of that punt turnover. They've got Fosnot wing right, Harmon split in left. Allenek calls it on 4th down and goal. Brown in motion right. There's a flag that goes down immediately, and that'll stop the play. And let's hope it's against Coughlin, but let's wait and see. Allenek was clapping as if it was against, and now Timmy Fosnot is also. So Coughlin came over.
Tim Montgomery, in all the years we've done the games, in key situations, on those 3rd and 1 plays, a lot of times he'll fool somebody, put a guy in motion. That time he puts Gary Brown in motion. Everybody's keying on Gary Brown. All eyes are on number 28. He wisely brought them over, and that brings him a little bit closer to the goal line. A wise move putting Brown in motion right there. Great call.
4th down and goal. The ball is inside the 2 yard line, so statistically you can call it the 1 if you want to. But here we go. 4th down and goal again. Heck calling signals. Turns, looks, gives it to Gary Brown. He does not make it. Gary Brown is held up on the right side as Coughlin comes through. Great play by Slavish and Yastrzemski back in there, submarining in, and Mendola and O'Donnell all came through. So again, Coughlin holds on downs at the 2 yard line as their line play has just been superb.
Wow, you're right. John Mendola made a great play that time from the inside linebacker spot, 6'1", 205. And you're right, submarining down. Brown was unable to really get up in the air. He likes to leap over the goal line and try to get in. By that time, they got him for the ankles. He got only down to about the 1.
So the ball will be 1st and goal at the 2 yard, or rather 1st down and 10 at the 2 yard line for Coughlin. Olszakowski on a keeper up the middle, gets a yard or two. Jeff White in there to make the stop, along with Tim Fosnot as they'll knock him down. It'll be 2nd down, and let's call it 8, almost 9 really at the 3 yard line.
So the Millionaires ate up a good bit of that 3rd quarter. Had the football the whole time, unable to score and take advantage of things. Williamsport trying to get to scoring inside that 10 yard line. Awfully tough. They're so used to scoring on those big plays. And no big play there. They had to grind it out. They came up short, and now defensively they got to stop Coughlin.
Sear Foss is wide left. They hand it to Walsh back inside. They'll come in with Phoenix and Fischel and White to help make the stop down there. And it'll be a 3rd down at about the 5 yard line. 3rd down to about 7.
John Boyle's getting off the pile, too. The last one up, 5'9", 160. But he's been a great right end for the Williamsport Millionaires this year. 3rd down and 7. The defense, a key defensive play here.
Well, the Millionaires definitely have to keep him here, and I think Coughlin just doesn't want to make any mistakes. They want to get that ball out of there. Wouldn't be even surprised to see him perhaps go with a quick kick to try to get the ball down, but they're not going to show that at this point. Patera is wide to the left. They're back to pass in their own end zone, looking for Patera down the sideline. Intercepted by Chris Dietrich at the 28. Back to the 25. Trying to get outside to the 20. He's over to the 15-yard line and finally brought down at the 12. And the flag goes down at the end of the play. Could be face mask or late hit over there. We'll have to wait and see. But the Millionaires have got another turnover. Their 3rd, and yet they're knocking on the door, but they haven't been able to score yet. Still trailing 9-0. We'll let the officials mark it off at the 12-yard line and see which way they go. It'll be against Coughlin.
Helping out that time of the play, Pete Patera bringing him down, but he just sits there and looks at nothing but the turf. And the penalty will be against Coughlin the way things look.
Yep.
And the Chariot White will be in great position again, but it doesn't mean it's going to be easy because you're back to square one again, trying to work from inside that 10-yard line for the Millionaires, and the crowd is up on their feet. Well, you've got to get in here.
Millionaires couldn't ask for anything to go better their way except for scoring here in the second half. Everything else has been right out there. X sets him down. In motion goes Gary Brown. They hand it out to Greg Walker on the pitch out, trying to turn the corner. Walker going, still running down to the 2-yard line before he's fallen down. He pulled somebody about 3 yards because they had him. Searfoss had him by the back along with Patera by the waistband as he just kept pulling him down to the 2.
Searfoss, 6'3", 180. He's been awful strong tonight. And I'll tell you what, that secondary linebacking crew of this Coughlin team has been tough. Williamsport has not been able to really turn the corner on them all night long, and they've been able to do that on everybody else this year.
Of course, that's close to a first down yardage because of the way they marked the penalty off after the play had been dead. So they actually started out with not first down and 10. So we'll stretch the chains, and this would be important because it would just give more plays to get it in. They're going to be short. So it's actually going to be second down and 1 at the 2-yard line. So they'll take the chains back across because the penalty on the beginning of the play was after the sticks in effect would have been placed. So that's why they started out that way from the 6, even though it was a penalty in there against Coughlin. So the Millionaires now second down and 1 at the 2-yard line. Still not able to score in this ball game, trailing at 9-0.
Chris Dietrich comes up with his 3rd interception of the year. He's had a great year in that secondary for the Cherry and White, and here they go again.
Corey Jets wide left. Wouldn't be surprised to see him try to loft it to him over there. 3.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. They turn around and give it to Gary Brown. Push, he did not quite make it. He'll be just inches shy. There'll be enough, though, for a 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
Boy, tough tackling right up front. One man that comes over to help out in the stop is Don Krochik, Joe Krochik, number 52, helping out of the play. And just tough getting the blocking up front. This front 4 and the way they're lining up with their linebackers, doing a great job for the Coughlin Crusaders and not giving them a whole lot of room.
1st down and goal at the 1-yard line for the Millionaires. Jet goes wide left. Williamsport trying to get just something going here to try to get a touchdown on the board. Eck calling signals. Gary Brown up in the air. Did he go for the plane? Yes. Gary Brown in for the 1-yard line as he got up high enough to break the plane, and the Millionaires trail 9-6.
Boy, if there were ever tougher yards, I haven't seen Williamsport will have to work so hard to get 6. Give the Coughlin Crusader defense all the credit in the world. They really jammed up those gaps very, very well. Really sort of messed up the blocking schemes that Williamsport has come up with, trying to open up a hole, and that.
Chris Dietrich is the snapper on these. Nate Culp walks it out. Waiting for the snap. It's back. Jet has it down. Culp kicks it up, and it's good. Timeout on the field. 3:06 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Coughlin 9, Williamsport 7.
It's fall fix-up time right now at a Barnes Hardware store near you. And now is the time to save like never before on the finest quality Dutch Boy paints during Barnes Fall Fix-Up Interior and Exterior Paint Sale. Save big on Dutch Boy Interior Latex Flat Wall Paint. Regular price $16.99. On sale now at just $10.99 a gallon. And also save on Dutch Boy Exterior Latex Flat House Paint. Regular price $21.99. On sale now at $13.99 a gallon. At all Barnes Hardware locations. Southside, Williamsport, Jersey Shore, Muncie. And coming soon, the 5th Barnes Hardware store in Mansfield. Sale ends September 30th.
Well, Gary Brown gets his 11th touchdown, but I tell you, the Crusaders still almost didn't let him in that time.
Boy, did he work for that. Brown is 21 attempts and 61 yards in the ground. So for the average, well under his own mark. Brown trying to come back for the injury, but he's after not the stats, he's after the win, and the Millionaires draw within 2.
Back deep as Culp kicks it off. It's a line drive. It bounces around and picked up by one of the upmen who fumbles the ball, but it goes out of bounds, I believe. Let's wait and see. Yes, goes out of bounds. Coughlin will have the football. They came up with it anyway over near the sideline as the Millionaires are really hitting on defense.
Good hit again. The ball pops loose. Luckily, they were near the sideline because they were right close to going out of bounds, which may have saved something for the Coughlin Crusaders. And Williamsport comes back on defense, and now they're going to have to be awfully stingy again because they're down by 2.
Well, the Crusaders have now run. This will be their 4th play of the 2nd half. They're going to look for the tailback coming through, and oh, is he eaten up. Big play by Mark Nye coming through there to make the stop. And the Millionaire defense really fired up as they came out hard, tried to stop that Coughlin running game and get the ball back again.
Funny, at practice the other day, Nye and Fosnot were going back and forth. Nye was saying, I make all the tackles. I do all the dirty work to make you look good, to make all the tackles. They've been 2 great linebackers this year, Mark Nye and Timmy Fosnot.
Patera comes wide left. Dunsmuir on the right-hand side. Back to pass. Olszewski's got him going down over the middle of the walk. Intercepted by Fosnot. Fosnot has it at the 28-yard line where he's brought down. It went right through the hands of Washington. toss into the hands of Fosnot, and the Millionaires have it 1st and 10.
We were just talking about Tim Fosnot. That time, he was in the right place at the right time. The ball was in and out of the hands of the receiver, and Fosnot picked it up in midair. The interception, that'll be Tim's second of the season, and the cherry and white defense has come here to play in the second half. They've recovered a fumble. They have intercepted now 2 passes, and the Millionaires get ready to go again.
So the cherry and white have it here late in quarter number 3, down by 3 at the Coughlin 28-yard line. 1st down and 10. Brown in motion right. Eck on a keeper as he's just trying to run it himself, and he's get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Seemed to be some confusion there on that ball, although Allen, as soon as he turned around, knew he was going to run it hard because he ran hard.
Allen made sure he was going to run that play out. John Mendola, along with Pete Patera, helping out of the play that time. Last time, Brown did not run the play out and actually lost them some yards despite the penalty.
Gets back just shy of the line of scrimmage. We might as well call it a 2nd down and 10 at the 28-yard line in Coughlin territory. Harmon goes wide left. Fosnot wing back right behind Joe Person, the tight end right. Allen Eck looks around, calls signals. Fosnot in motion left. Back they fake it to Gary Brown. Big rush from Chucky Doyle. Allen scambling, he'll go down. He'll be sacked back at the 40-yard line as Big Doug Pate came through and finally put him down after O'Donnell had the initial pressure on him. Back at the 39-yard line, a sack. They lose 10. It'll be 3rd and 20.
Well, they read it well. The heat was on again. Williamsport has had to put up with an outstanding Coughlin defense, which is really had to play. Got to be getting a little bit tired. They've had to play this entire second half of the ball game, but they didn't look tired on that play. They read it well and knew the pass was coming, and now 3rd and 21.
Here we go to the 39-yard line. 3rd down. Allen Eck back to pass. Big rush, screen pass, and they throw the ball to the wrong man. Didn't go to Gary Brown. Ball caught by Joe Person. They were both there together. It may not have been the wrong man, but they were standing there next to each other, and Joe went right down. He went down as if I'm not supposed to catch this ball, as if he was trying to get out of the way to let Gary get it. But it'll be 4th down and 4th and 19.
Yeah, and again, the slippery field looks like it paid a little toll there, too, as Person looked upfield to run and slipped down in that situation. So the reception, but nowhere near getting a chance to go for the 1st down. They tried to set the screen that time.
Now with a free Coca-Cola. Got it. So, let's check those details at our participating McDonald's and get in there and win. Right. Oh, and remember, it's void in Vermont. We're prohibited.
On 4th down, the Millionaires are set to punt, just getting it away. A nice high punt. George Wolf, and he starts to run with the ball. The man in front of him called a fair catch. Millionaires are looking for a flag as Patera called for the fair catch, but Wolf caught the ball. But anyway, Coughlin will have it on their own 9-yard line. In the 3rd quarter, Coughlin had 0 total offense.
Yeah, they remember again, they ran up 164 total yards in the 1st half of the ball game. And a good bit of that on an 83-yard Matt Walsh touchdown that set the pace of the game early. Got Coughlin up. They led 9-0 at halftime. It's now a 9-7 game. This Coughlin offense has hardly touched the ball here in the half, and Williamsport has certainly held the edge in field position right here. Here comes the defense again. They'll try to force their 4th turnover of the half.
Millionaires trying to get it back again. Inside to Walsh. He gets away from one, but he's not going to go any farther than that. A big pileup as the Millionaires swarm. Martin I got him first and slowed him down, and then Jeff White and Victor Brace Harvey finished him off at about the 9 or 10-yard line. We'll call it at the 10-yard line. A gain of a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
Bill Olsen has that defense fired up in the second half. No doubt about it. I'm sure he was talking about making sure they have people and not arm tackling.
Well, I'll tell you, the way they've been going, they need to get one of those turnovers run into the end zone. That would be a big help. Just underway in the 4th quarter on WWPA Williamsport. Millionaires trailing by 2 points here. Coughlin has the ball. They hand to Mendola inside again. The defensive line just stacks it up. The whole right side, White, Boyles, Fischel, and company, all just banging it up in there. It's going to be 3rd down at about 7.
And another key 3rd down play. Olszewski has been picked off a couple of times in this half, and he's got to be a little bit gun-shy back there at this stage of the game. Threw the football well in the 1st half of the ball game. But right now, the Williamsport Millionaires are sort of sitting back and waiting, and that secondary has been awfully strong this year.
All right, here's your 3rd down play. 3rd down at 7 for the Crusaders on their own 12-yard line. They turn around, look for Walsh, and so does the defense. Victor Brace Harvey and a whole bunch of other people, Phoenix and Fischel, they're all in there to make the stop.
Yeah,
they
White
really
helping out. Good play, and they didn't want to gamble throwing the football down there that time. They decided to go to Walsh and see if he could break something, but no go this time, and now the Millionaires should get the ball back in great field position with 10:17 to play. And they're going to go back with Greg Walker back deep on the punt. He'll step back at about the 45-yard line.
At the 14-yard line, the line of scrimmage, and they'll be back in punt formation, standing on his own goal line. Dunsmuir gets it up, just does get it up. Boyles is blocked into him. Walker will let it bounce. It'll bounce back to about the 47, 48-yard line where Coughlin will down it. So the Millionaires will take over again in Coughlin territory, but this time at the Crusader 47-yard line. 9:52 left to play in this game.
Plenty of time to go. Williamsport Millionaires have had that offensive control of the clock all night in the second half, but have been able to come out with only the 7 points, and were turned away at the goal line once.
It's been a fast-moving Fez Bowl football game. As the clock continues to run, Jet goes wide right. Now he'll come over wide left. And he's set. Calling signals. Now Dietrich goes in motion left. They give it back, and Walker turns it back and spins, gets it up to the 45-yard line.
And he was close to getting a face mask that time with the initial stop. But coming over to make the play is the Coughlin Crusaders.
Chris McCarthy came up and grabbed him. Millionaire fans thought he grabbed him up too high, but the official standing there didn't see it that way. It's a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd and 8 to the Crusader 45-yard line. And the way this clock has been going in this half, the Millionaires really need to get some points out of this drive. Dietrich, the wing right. Corey Jett again will move from right to left. Now they're going to pull Dietrich over. Now the Millionaires have to take a timeout. They're out, getting set to go as they have 8:54 to play. They're down by 2 points here in the fourth quarter. 2nd down and 8 on the Crusader 45-yard line. The Millionaires have dominated the second half, but they trail 9-7, and that's what the final thing to be remembered is. Flanker right. The backs are split. Alanek hands off inside to Gary Brown, who's going to be close to first down yardage at the 38-yard line. A nice almost draw play with the delay off the left side. And down in there to help make the tackle is going to be Sean Bryan. Yes, indeed. Sean Bryan comes through. Red Bryan, this is his first game he's played this year. He was ineligible for some of the previous games. It's going to be 3rd down and shy by about a yard at the 38-yard line.
And you've had how many 3rd down situations tonight? There have been so many.
Millionaires are on their 11th 3rd down play. Alanek up the line of scrimmage quickly. Looks for Greg Walker left side. He spins, keeps moving behind Phoenix. Dunsmuir and Slavish bring it down. Dunsmuir and Bryan bring him down, but he's got first down and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Well, they're trying to put that drive together again. Alanek looks to the sideline.
There's a flag down, however.
Boy.
Well, let's wait. They're talking to the Crusaders, so it's going to be against the Millionaires.
Boy, have they just killed themselves with penalties tonight. They did it in the first half. The second half, they have had their problems with the penalties in the ball game and just trying to break momentum, and this clock will not hold up for you all night.
It's illegal motion, so instead of having a 3rd down and 1, they're going to be back to a 3rd down and 6 play now at the 43-yard line. Big play again for the Millionaires. Wide back right. Brown going off the right side. This spins away, and Gary almost got away. Now they blow the whistle, and he did go down. He bumped into one of the officials trying to come out of the pack.
I tell you what, if he had not bumped into the referee, I think he may have gone all the way.
But he'll be first down and 10 at the 36, and Gary's not getting up right now. He's down, and Wincuts will come out and take a look at him. So he gets the first down with a beautiful, determined run. But he's sitting there, and they're going to come out and take a look at it. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Millionaires at the 36-yard line. Down by 2 with 7:54 to go. Tom Navarro goes back leading it by 2 points. So Navarro and Walker will be the running backs. Harmon, the flanker right. Alanek hands it to Tom Navarro inside. Gets 3 or 4 yards off the right side of the line up to about the 33-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Chris McCarthy comes up to make the stop for the Crusaders along with Doug Pape. So it's going to be 2nd down at about 7 at the 33-yard line. Millionaires trying to keep this drive going. They've had the control of the ball game here in the second half, but unable to get but the 1 touchdown. They look for Walker outside. Tried to cut back against the grain. Slips down at the 29-yard line.
And I'll tell you what, Chris McCarthy again helping out at the stop. That's been the problem for the Cherry and White. The slick turf. The cutbacks have given them problems. They've had their ends have had problems slipping down. Brown and Walker have had problems. And Walker that time saw some daylight. Tried to cut back and slips down. And here you go. Third down again.
They've had 5 out of 11 third down conversions tonight. Flanker right. They look inside. Here's Walker left side. He'll get the first down yardage. A flag goes down right near the end of the play.
Could have been a late hit. Dunsper got in there and hit Walker fairly late in that play. We'll see what the call there might be, though.
Well, let's watch and see. The ball is at the 23-yard line, so the run good for 7 yards after the 23-yard line.
Then Gary Brown will come back to the ball game.
And that'll be the 12th first down of the night, plus the penalty against Coughlin.
And it looks like it could be a biggie against them.
Moves it down to the 11-yard line, where it's going to be first down and 10. So an 11-yard penalty, and Coughlin now will have their backs against the wall. 6:27 to go. First down and 10 for the Millionaires on the 11-yard line. Alanek calls his signals. Fakes it, hands it back to Brown. Gets over to the 10 down about the 8-yard line before he's brought down by Sean Bryan along with Carl Yastrzemski again. So the Millionaires now really taking control as long as they can keep away from the penalties and just keep moving it a little bit at a time.
You almost don't want to see him inside that 10-yard line because Coughlin has played him so tough in there. They held him at the goal line once. Williamsport had to scratch and bite their way in the last time, and here they go again. 2nd and 8 at the 9.
Corey Jets wide right. Eck looks for Walker, spins away, gets down to the 6-yard line. Trying to go down in there. Doug Pape in there with John Mendola to help bring him down. So the Millionaires will be faced with a third down again at about 5 from the 6-yard line.
They're going totally with their bread and butter. One thing I think Tim Montgomery has lost a little confidence in his pass game tonight. Yeah, they have not.
Millionaires start to come out of the huddle, and they hold them up while now we're set to go.
Well, this is a key play. And remember again, Nate Culp is warming up. Remember again, a field goal can put them ahead.
Millionaires are set to go. Now Dietrich goes in motion right. They give it to Gary Brown, trying to sweep right. He tries to get outside. They do a super job of stringing him out, but he goes diving into the end zone. Did he make it? No, he's out of bounds short of the end zone. And will get the mark at about the 2 or 3 yard line. Alanek put his arms up, but he did not make it into that end zone. It's going to be down to about the 1 or 2 yard line. And it's going to be looks like maybe a 4th down coming up. We'll see as the officials then look at the sticks on the far side of the field. Navarro and Walker. Everybody in tight with Alanek. Dietrich goes in motion right. They give it to Navarro, trying to turn the corner. Touchdown! Tommy Navarro goes in with a score, and the Millionaires go out in front 13-9.
And they might have been keying a little bit that time on Greg Walker, but Tom Navarro, his first start this year. And Navarro, the little guy, goes in. An opening on the right side of the line, and the Cherry and White don't have to worry about that 1-yard plunge this time. Navarro finally made it look easy. And Tom, with great speed, got in untouched with 5:18 to play, and the Millionaires with a lead, 13-9.
Drive went 47 yards. It used up 4 minutes and 34 seconds on the clock as they went the 47 yards and 11 plays. Nate Culp waits the kick. Snap is down. The kick is up. Looking good from here. Yes, it is. There's a timeout on the field. 5:18. Lots of time left to go in this ball game. Williamsport leads it 14-9.
Norm Balone is a retailer. He doesn't use radio because...
Can't see things in radio.
So to show him that hearing is seeing, we blindfolded Norm and tied him to a chair in his living room.
What are you doing?
We're sawing a hole in your floor, Norm.
Listen, I know radio works. It's okay, really.
Now we're filling the hole with water.
I like radio, I do.
Now we're throwing alligators and sharks in the hole.
No, please, take off the blindfold.
So, Norm, still think you can't see things on radio?
Well, not like TV.
All right, I can see.
Surrounded by sharks, call us at 323-7118.
So the Millionaires now will be set to kick off with 5:18 to go in the game as the Millionaires have the lead for the first time this evening. And they've got to play more of that super defense that has already forced 5 turnovers by the Crusaders in the ballgame. Here you go. Kick comes back to the 11-yard line. And they'll bring it up. And it's Searfoss breaking out left side. He almost got away. Finally goes down to the 34-yard line. And Art Searfoss was a step away from going.
And Nate Culp was the man that got him. Culp, the kicker, he's been on quite a few tackles in the kickoff team this year, and you don't want it to get to your kicker that's got to make the tackle to save anything, but he had some daylight there for a moment, and it looked like he might have been able to break it out.
And if it hadn't been for the slippery turf, I'm not sure Nate would have had a shot at him either. All right, here we go. Millionaires defense. First down, 10, 33-yard line. Olszewski wing back around, trying to get it out there. They won't do it. Walsh coming back from the far side, brought down beautifully by Victor Brace Harvey.
And Greg Walker helping out, too.
To make the stop there, and the ball will be put down back at the 32-yard line, a loss of a yard. It'll be second down and 11.
As well as the Coughlin defense has played in this ball game, Williamsport defense has been superb, equally as superb, especially in the second half. They forced 3 turnovers and given Coughlin 0 yards in that third quarter.
4.5 minutes to go in the game. Clock running. Millionaires up 14-9. They once again start that motion. Olszewski going left, looking deep down the field. Ball is hit. Does it go incomplete or is it loose? Is it a fumble recovery? Fumble recovery. Mendola caught it, was hit, and turned it over. Chris Dietrich doing the job to get him, and the Millionaires get it back. I think Timmy Fosnot actually ended up coming up with the football again out there, but the Millionaires will have it at the 45-yard line of Crusader territory.
And I think you are right. That's right. Fosnot was the 3 in the other end of the number, not 2-3, but 33. Tim Fosnot, a key interception and now a key fumble recovery.
I was wondering if they were going to call it possession and turnover, which they did do.
Referee was right there. He saw that he had it long enough. Good pop, and Fosnot is on it. That is a key play with 3:58 to play.
At the 45-yard line in Crusader territory, Alan Eck sets him down. Looks inside for Gary Brown. He gets a couple of yards before he's tripped up. Down to about the 42-yard line. Again of about 3. It'll be second down and 7.
Gary Brown just will not give up in this ball game. He goes down. Carl Yastrzemski made the tackle. He's had problems with that knee brace. Problems, it looked like, with his other ankle at times. I think the knee brace, the thing, is giving him some problems, slipping down on him.
3.5 minutes to go in the game. Sherian White up 14-9. Alan Eck, Gary Brown comes to the side. Navarro goes back in, a little hobbled. Tommy gets the play quickly from Greg Walker as they're going to have to hurry up and snap this ball before they get a delay of game penalty. They turn it back, pitch it back to Walker, and he gets nowhere, absolutely nothing at all. But a flag comes in, maybe a face mask, going to hand to Mendola as he reached out to make the tackle.
Yeah, Mendola, I think, was one of those unintentional deals. He put the hand up and the hand grabbed the mask. That's what it looked like from here. And if so, that's a big penalty against the Coughlin Crusaders. John Mendola's played a heck of a ball game tonight from his inside linebacker spot, as has Junior O'Donnell.
It is a big walk-off. It takes the ball all the way down to the 28-yard line of the Crusaders.
Now, this is a ball club, Ken, that we might end up seeing before it's all over this year again.
Well, we said that in the open tonight, that we just might. I tell you, they are a 1-5 football team.
Remember last year they were hoping to see them again, and neither one got a chance to play for that.
They lost to West Scranton. We lost to Dunmore. First down and 10 at the 28-yard line. Eck reaches inside, right side for Walker, down to the 25-yard line. Sean Bryant along with Doug Pape in to make the stop as the clock continues to run. And right now, that's the biggest friend the Millionaires have. Now they're just trying to use up the clock, get a couple of more first downs.
They lead 14-9 in the ball game. They trailed 9-0 at halftime, shut out for the first time of the first half of a ball game. Really, I think shut out for the first time since their game against Coughlin last year.
Jet wide right.
Just Dunmore was probably the last time.
Alan Eck calling signals. Looks for Navarro, right side. He gets to the 25, maybe the 24-yard line. Jeff Crocus among those who come up to make the tackle, along with Art Searfoss. And Coughlin now will stop the clock. They'll take a timeout. We have a timeout. 2:14 left. Third down. They'll call it 6 at the 25-yard line. Jet is wide right. Alan Eck comes up. Looks back for Greg Walker going against the grain. Mendola has him. Some other people will help out down to the 20-yard line. Looks like it'll be 4th down and 1 on the play.
Millionaires have gone totally away from their pass game. And I think they've lost a little confidence in their pass game from the early stage. I think the passing routes have got to be open right now. Although you want to protect the lead, you don't want to do this or that, but they have gone strictly to pitch right or pitch left.
Coughlin has called another timeout. We'll keep it right here at this moment.
Incredible in the second half of the game, but it has been incredible how well this Coughlin defense has held up. They have still are stingy for every single yard Williamsport has had to earn the second half of the ball game.
Jed goes wide right on this 4th down and 2 at the Coughlin 21-yard line. Eck calling signals. Navarro goes in motion right. Greg Walker trying to turn the corner right. He's not going to make it. Coughlin has held. They'll knock him down for no gain at all, and the Crusaders will take over with 2 minutes left to go in this football game.
I think the Cherry and White have been too easy to key on in the second half of the game. I really do. You know, you're trying to get the holes open for your bread and butter, but they have not shown you any of the wide open type offense here. Obviously, you don't want to gamble, but if you want to keep something alive.
Olszewski back to pass, looks over the middle, it's complete to Patera, tried to shovel play, the Millionaires have picked the ball up, loose on the far sideline and running it back, and the Millionaires do a super job as Gary Brown comes up with it. They tried that old hook and ladder play where they got it to Patera. He tried to pitch out to the following man down the sideline. The ball came up loose, and Gary Brown picked it up and returned it to the 15-yard line.
Gary Brown intercepts it, takes it back, and what a run back, and Gary Brown's back there playing defense again for the speed. So whatever Brown will do, he'll do it on both offense and defense, and now the Millionaires will have it back. And for all intents and purposes, this should be it for the Cherry and White, but I know they're not going to be satisfied until it says 0-0-0 on that clock.
Millionaires have it back on the 15-yard line of the Crusaders after yet another turnover. 1:20 to go here in the football game. Alan Eck will keep it. He charges forward, gets good yardage, 5 yards on the quarterback sneak right up the middle. As the Millionaires' determination in the second half has just been outstanding. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Carl Yastrzemski again, 5'10", 180, and a junior, so he'll be back next year.
Tonight, for the second straight night, that game was called off. Apparently, it just rained all day and very hard into the afternoon there. And if there's a change, we'll let you know. Right now, the game's scheduled for Friday night. Eck again. And he just charges forward right behind that front wall, behind Todd Letta and Todd Buchner and a whole bunch of guys up front there. And everybody sort of helps everybody up. The ball will be marked at the 9-yard line as Sean Bryan once again comes in to help make the stop. Officially goes down to the
offense. Had to work very hard. Brown was not 100%. Walker got hurt early, but you can't make excuses. The defense of Coughlin played well, and Williamsport had to fight for everything they had and pull out what looks to be another win.
Alan Eck sets his team down once again. He just lunges forward a little bit, trying to pick up a yard or two. And that should be the final snap of the ball game, as the Millionaires will not have to snap it again. And, you know, we said at halftime, Gary, we'll see what the Millionaires are made of. And I think we saw what a fine football team this is. Now they're going to stop the clock as one of the Coughlin players goes down injured on the sideline with 11 seconds to go. But, of course, when he gets up, they just start to clock up again. So that doesn't mean they have to snap the ball again unless they want to. Now, they may want to.
Mention Berwick and then Altoona.
Yep.
And Altoona down there, you never know. We thought we were in for one last year that they didn't seem to be the team to do it, but now the clock winds down, and the Fez Bowl belongs to the Millionaires, and boy, do they work for that one. They really work for it.
Millionaires have won it. They win the Fez Bowl. They're now 5-0. The final score, Williamsport 14, Coughlin 9. We'll be back with a wrap-up shortly. There's new 87 Mazda trucks galore at Fowler Motors. Fowler Motors has a Mazda truck to suit your lifestyle. There's the 87 B2000 delivered, just $59.59. Mazda stretch cabs at just the right price, $75.75. Or enjoy luxury with the Mazda SC5, a limited time only price reduction of $400, now $64.95. Hurry, supplies are limited. The sale ends soon at Fowler Motors, Buick City.
Fowler